Yo everybody, this is Rock the Great, aka the Toy Bookie, and this is a little bit of a part 2 video. If you watched my video about all the paper crafts, and like making your own paper crafts for your dioramas and stuff, and cutting them out and sizing them and everything, I have a video on that on the channel. Check that out before this one. Unless you know how, you already have paper, you know how to size everything and print out your stuff. This video will be teaching you a few of the ways to put it on your dioramas and stuff. So we're gonna, yes, that is Rose Tico, a little bit of a mascot on the show. If you've been watching for a long time, you'll know the Rose Tico song. I don't have to go into that. That's not what this video is about. So we're gonna be adding these papers, posters onto this diorama wall. Let's go into it. If you know this channel, we don't waste time. We don't make it fancy. I don't throw in clips. Not to say that those channels, I never want to come off snooty, so not to say those channels that do it are just not my style. That's what makes us all different, and I do respect and like those channels that do that stuff. But we do everything really cheap, easy, and fast on this channel, and somehow we still get good results, so people keep coming back, so I appreciate all of you who watch. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure your diorama is sealed. This diorama has been hit with Mod Podge already, so it is sealed. This is an old diorama, and I just thought I would practice on this. So this is already sealed, this foam. You could do it on unsealed foam, but I wouldn't. Just seal your dioramas when you're done with them, please. So let's just get into it. I got my cup of water. You get a cup of water. You got your Mod Podge. I'm sorry, for those who don't know, this is a little bit of a glue sealer finish. You get this at the Dollar Tree. It comes in gloss or matte. I use matte for a lot of stuff unless you want a glossy finish. But right now I'm going to use the matte. So I always forget, every video might be someone's first. So I'm going to buff my graffiti on here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this on here first. So you put a little bit of it down in the spots you want it, right? Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit. Just wet it a little bit. Make sure you got the wet brush. I use a crappy brush for this because this is glue. And now see, it's sealing all in here. And this poster is going to be half on the bricks that actually are engraved. So you're going to want to just like push it down a little bit and just try and get the corners to stick. Like, see, you see what I'm doing? Yes, okay. And your colors might run a little bit, but I always think it makes it look more realistic, because if you've got a poster up on a wall, it's not going to be new and neat and clean for long, at least. So, boom, I'm going to put a little bit more glue on here. Try not to do too much, but, I mean, it dries clear, so you'll be fine. And now, here for the bumps, if you did put a poster up on this wall, it's going to be going into these engravings, right? This is almost like a wheat paste for graffiti people out there, the wheat pasters. See, there you go. Look, I would just use the back of your brush and just push it into the details so it looks like there's actually brick under there, and you actually did put this poster up on this wall. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. Awesome. So easy, so fun. That's how I like my crafts. Now, wanted posters, usually more than one, so we're going to just put 2 wanted posters up on here. And with the wanted posters, I never worry about being fully on there too well, because if you get curves up on the sides, I almost do that sometimes on my dioramas. I would curve, like I'll bend half the bottom up like that, so it looks like it's natural, because wanted posters, they don't put them up too permanently unless they're repasting them up there. They're usually just tacking them up there or gluing the top or something like that. So they don't have to be perfect. And I always do, when you do like a down motion, because it's like water comes down. So you would want that, like when it does run a little bit, the paper, you want like let it run down at least, so it looks a little bit real. And now that's pretty standard. That's gonna now dry, and it's gonna be like sealed, and it's gonna be like hard and nice and like a plasticky-ish feeling, which I like. Here we got some stickers that were already on here sealed. Like, see that? This is a paper, this is like a sticker that's supposed to be on here. So I made it glossy. So it looks like, you know, like those vinyl stickers you would put on a electric fence like this. So I used the gloss for that. And then this little window. Yeah, this is actually a diorama I didn't show anyone. This is pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so let me get a close-up on that. Also, if you don't have the Mod Podge, you could do this with white paint, like steal this from your daughter or son, and put it in a little cup and water it down a little bit. And you almost get the same consistency as this. Basically, this is almost like the same stuff anyway, but I like the Mod Podge because it does get like a professional like seal on it. Now, this technique can also be used on figures, because in the last video I told you about that stuff. So you could also use this technique if you're trying to put an emblem on an action figure and you don't really, I mean, you don't want to do a vinyl sticker or something like that. This worked. I've used this technique on action figures for little logos, or like, you know, like on their shirt or something. I've used this technique on any type of diorama thing. I'm just trying to see all this stuff. You could use it on model cars. You could use this technique. It is a very, you know, it's common knowledge. Like a lot of the stuff I talk about on this channel is common knowledge. But I also feel like a lot of channels forget about it. Like a lot of people are coming into this craft. They're not a professional. And they don't know what these things we're talking about. So I always try and keep my things very, you know, like, people, I get them saying, like, I'm going to try a diorama because I watched your videos. And I hold that very dear to me, because it's like I'm getting people to jump into this craft, to try dioramas for themselves. And it seems like it's working. And you know, you don't have to have all kinds of fancy stuff. And just jump into it, because you forget this is a craft, you know? And I just want everyone to just try things. Don't be afraid. If you mess up, it's a mess, you know, it's your craft anyway. That's how I do all my things for me. I can understand if you were a diorama maker for other people, that's kind of nerve-wracking, because you never know if other people are going to like it. But all my dioramas I do to where I'm happy with it. Now, this is going to dry, and this is going to be a really cool Batman shot scene. So you put your figures in front of it, you get a Batman like looking up into the distance. Very cool, very awesome. And maybe Rose Tico too. Look, she'd be like, Rose Tico went to Gotham. Now that's a movie I want to see. WB, work on that crossover real quick. That could save the DCEU. That's it, guys. I've been just rambling. Make sure if this is the first video you're seeing of me, jump back and see my paper craft video. I go into a lot of the paper crafts more detailed. And I think that's about it. I forget these videos can be very simple. Doesn't have to be so crazy. So definitely try this out. In the comments, let me know if it worked for you and how it worked and everything. And thanks for watching. Here comes the intro. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Rock with the Great, aka the Toy Bookie. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. It helps promote my videos to other people because YouTube doesn't want to. And if you like what you see, subscribe, because I do a lot of other content like this. I am a diorama maker and an artist. You can follow me on Instagram at Rock with the Great. I am a graphic designer. I've done work with bands from Taking Back Sunday all the way to Mod Sun. I do other graphic design work. I've done some comic book stuff, comic work stuff. And if you like toys and you're into that type of stuff, I have a whole nother thing called the Toy Bookie on Instagram. And I do toy photography, I do toy reviews, I do toy dioramas. Very cool stuff on there. Definitely check those two things out, and see you later, guys. Peace.